Good evening, folks, and welcome to Echo's Reloading Chamber. Welcome to the show tonight, and we have a special guest with us, Guns and Barbecue. And why don't you say hello, Barbecue, real quick?
Hello, real quick.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. AR, I'll let you go ahead and bring in the side chat, brother, and then we'll take it up from where we're at.
Hey, good to be here, Echo. Good to see you, Barbecue. Appreciate you being on.
You
Good
as
to see
well.
both of you. I may be losing my voice, guys, but bear with me. Got G-Webs over here. Andy 79Z28's with us. Guns and Barbecue here in the panel. That's about it right now. Well, whoa, boy, there it went. Reloader 762's with us. Hobby's Hobo. How you doing, Hobby? Alaska One Andy's with us. Appreciate you guys being here. Good to see you. That's about it for now.
All right. Well, that's all right. We'll get some more people.
Got one more. MSB 9021. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by, brother. So, Guns, John, I watched the video and I was kind of shocked myself. I basically, folks, if you have not seen John's video and you're not subscribed to Guns and Barbecue, please check the video out in the description box. I have a link to his video where his latest one where he's doing tests with primed brass casings, and he has a surprise. And okay, with that much said, John, why don't you go ahead and tell us what exactly you heard, why you were trying this, and what you discovered, and what kind of firearm are we talking about?
Absolutely. So, now, first, I'd like to cleanse everybody's palates because some people that know the video in question, as soon as they hear the name of who made the initial report, they just like to get hung up on that, and they don't want to look at things logically just because of that person. That person being Yankee Marshall had made the initial report that Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0s could fire out of battery. Now, for me, I don't care who the heck made that report. I had literally just bought one a week prior to this report being made by Yankee. But like I said, I don't care if it was Echo, it could have been AR, it could have been G-Webs out in the chat. Whoever the heck would have said this, I'd have been doing the same thing. And that was, I just wanted to know, mainly, would my M&P 2.0 10mm fire out of battery? So one way that I like to check firing pins, if I ever have a question about that, is I'll just put a pencil down the barrel eraser first and pull the trigger. And then, depending on how hard of a trigger pull there is, things like that, sometimes the pencil will go flying out of the barrel. Other times it just jumps forward a little bit, So I did this, and then I actually tried to hold the slide open in my original video. And when I would do that, the pencil would jump forward about the same amount. And I found that interesting. Now, with that video, people were saying, oh, well, you're allowing the slide to jump forward when you pull the trigger. And I really wasn't paying attention to that when I did the initial video. And then some other people commented, hey, you should do this with a primed case, things like that. And I was like, you know what, that would be a better way to know for sure if this would detonate a primer or if it would just, give a light primer strike. So that was almost 3 months ago now. Really meant to get around to doing this follow-up test a lot sooner than that, but life's been really busy, and I was only able to get back to it most recently. Released that video today, and first three attempts were all just very high primer strikes, and I show those in the video. The fourth attempt, because what I was doing was I would pull the slide back until it would reset the striker. Then I would slowly let it down, pulling the trigger repeatedly until I felt tension, which told me the trigger was now biting the striker. And then I would, forcibly hold the slide in that position and not let it jump forward or anything and pull the trigger. And like I said, when I would do that, it would just give a really high primer strike. So like I said, moving on to the fourth and fifth attempts, because I had 5 primed cases total for this test. I was like, all right, let's see if we just move it forward just a little bit. And when I did that, it went off. And in that video, I even said, "Whoa!" It scared the shit out of me because I was honestly expecting another high primer strike. So I kind of suspected that I may not have held on to that one the way I would have wanted to. So I was like, you know what, we're going to do the fifth one now, and I made sure to hold that one 100%, and it went off again. And I was like, oh, all right. So at that point, I went up to my camera, flipped it around, and got real close. That way people could see what was happening. And I did this 2 more times. And with the last one, I zoomed way in on the back of the firearm. Now, I did show the barrel, and you can see that it starts to tilt down in this position. I know a couple commenters today had mentioned that they don't consider it to be out of battery, unless the barrel's not in lockup and it's tilting down, which is like, well, that was happening. But so with that being said, I focused on showing the backside of the firearm because that showed just how far out of alignment the slide was to the frame. Now, since I was able to get a pretty clear shot of that, I was able to put a tape measure on the firearm today, and conveniently with the scalloping for the slide serrations on those, I was able to get a pretty accurate measurement as well. And I'm going to measure it about 3/16 of an inch. Now, supposedly, if you want to pay attention to Yankee Marshall's video from several months ago, supposedly Smith & Wesson was claiming that as long as it's not more than a 1/4 inch out of battery, it's safe to shoot. And that's one of the things that really intrigued me because I've always been under the impression that anything out of battery is unsafe. Whether it be a 1/16 of an inch, 1/4 inch, whatever. If it's out of battery, not locked up, it's not safe. And that's going back to gunsmith school. So, yeah. It's not like I'm just like, oh, Grandpa taught me. No, this was from gunsmith school. Right. But yeah, so with that, with that last shot, it was, like I said, about 3/16 is where I would put it at, and it still went off. And if you looked at the cases, they definitely weren't hitting center. They were slightly up of center, but it was still enough that, 1, it was detonating the cases, and 2, even with a slightly high primer strike, it was still going off at that point.
Yeah, and I think, just so most of our viewers probably understand this, but for those who don't, about 95% of all semi-automatic handguns made today are based off of the John Moses Browning design of being in battery lockup and delay. It uses a system that locks up and delays just enough to give you those milliseconds to let the brass fully expand, the bullet to travel down the barrel, and for the brass to shrink back a little bit, a couple thousandths of an inch, couple thousandths of an inch, it will shrink back. And during that, the slide is starting to come back, and basically the extractor is able to pull the piece of brass, the spent cartridge, free from the chamber. And it does this by it unlocking it out of battery. And basically the slide is the breech face on the weapon. So when it's in battery, the hood of the barrel, which is the top piece that sticks out, that's a rectangle that sticks out, that engages the slide breech face, and it aligns the barrel with the slide. Then as the barrel travels upward, it's bringing the barrel onto a 90-degree angle with the slide face, which is the breech face in this, where the firing pin's at, so that they meet up square and they're at a 90-degree angle when they're sitting flat against each other. Now, what's happening with John's pistol is the barrel is actually coming down, which causes an angle there, and it's unlocking out of battery. And what this is doing is when the weapon fires, there's no resistance on the back of the case on the lower part of this breech face. There's no support. And what it can do is it can cause that case when it goes off for it to shift and go backwards and come apart. And that can cause a serious detonation inside the gun, can cause usually 9 out of 10 times the magazine will blow free of the frame of the handgun, and depending upon whether or not the handgun's polymer or steel or aluminum, it damages the frame by either cracking it or bending it or splitting it. And that could be a serious thing. You run the risk of getting debris in your face, in your hands, of course, and your knee getting hit with a magazine that's coming out at quite high speeds. That's, if it's full of ammunition, can cause your kneecap to shatter. I've actually seen this happen before in person. Not with a Smith & Wesson, with a different model gun, and there was something we knew was wrong with it, and we were test firing it to see if we could recreate the problem, and we did, and unfortunately the gun blew up. So it can be rather serious, to the price of your firearm, to the price of your you bodily injury. So, and we're not saying that, if you own a Smith & Wesson 2.0, that it's going to do this. John's particular gun is doing this, and this is a sample size of 1. Now, Yankee Marshall had said that they had tested, and we don't know how he tested the guns. You could go back and check that on his video on his side.
Their claim, Echo, was that they used a snap cap, which honestly is a little curious how they were able to confirm 100% that using the snap cap that it was, because like when I did the pencil test, I did the control where, hey, I just stuck the pencil in there, watch how far it jettisoned forward, and then when I did the out of battery test, again, watch how far the pencil jettisoned forward, and I was like, oh, that's about the same distance. But if you're using a snap cap, you could tell if the trigger breaks and whatnot, but it doesn't really tell you how hard it struck the primer. So, and
right.
that's one of the reasons that I did my test, because I was like, well, snap caps, while again it's gonna be a safe way to dry fire your handgun, it's not giving you any other feedback there. So, but with that, they said in Yankees video that I think they tested 10 that Sporting Systems had in stock, and 7 out of the 10 would do it. So wow. That's a 70% rate that they had. Obviously, like Echo just said, I've only got the test sample of my own. And I'm not saying that people need to take this as gospel or anything like that. Just something to, possibly be aware of if you have one. Check it out. Certainly not trying to fearmonger or anything. The odds of having an out of battery detonation are so slim, even if a pistol is prone to having it in this situation. Even I'm still not afraid to take my M&P 2.0 to the range and shoot it, because I know the likelihood of having an OBD is just so slim. Short of having a piece of debris get caught in a slide rail, or perhaps there's a small issue with a case while it's going into battery, things like that. It's just not, it's very unlikely to have happen. So But something to be cognizant of, and when I called Smith & Wesson, they told me, which I'm going to try and drop this call recording tomorrow,
Okay.
but they flat out told me, do not fire any of their firearms out of battery. If you believe you have a firearm of theirs that's firing out of battery, to send it back to them for warranty work.
Yep.
And that's what I suggest. If you guys are worried about yours possibly doing this, basically give them a call and they'll be glad to send you a prepaid envelope and get your gun taken care of. Basically, yeah, like Barbecue saying, the chances of it happening in normal use are slim to none unless you have some gook in your slide rail, or you have a case that may not have been sized all the way down correctly, or has a defective, maybe a little lip on the opening mouth that causes it to hang up a little bit in the chamber. All of these things. And everybody's familiar with the Gen 1 Glock and Gen 2 Glock that had the unsupported chambers in those barrels. And it didn't happen all the time, but it did happen. Some blew up. And because the casing wasn't supported enough and it ruptured and blew the case head off. So, you know, weirder stuff has happened. We're just trying to make you aware of what John discovered, and, you know, leave it up to you to handle it the way you feel necessary. Of course, if you have any questions, call Smith & Wesson and deal directly with them. I'm sure you could have a gunsmith check your gun if you didn't feel comfortable in doing it. They probably would do it for free, because but you know, you want to call and make sure first. But I'm sure they wouldn't mind checking it if they're authorized Smith & Wesson dealer. They probably would do it for free, because if any problems, they wanted to have you have that sent back. But like I'm saying, check your guns. And if you're having any issues, I went ahead and checked my Gen 1s, and I've got 3 of them. I've got the M&P Shield, the M&P Compact, and I got the M&P Pro Performance Center, a 5-inch barrel with the sight, where you can mount a red dot on it, and it's ported, 5-inch barreled gun, and 9mm, and none of those guns would do it. The firing pin safety worked as correct. And what I wanted to get onto what John's gun is doing is, if you look at the video, you can see where it hits the primer, and it's hitting it high. And the reason being is because the barrel is coming out of battery and dropping down. And basically it's hitting the primer right where the bend in the primer is, to where it goes flat, from flat to bend to 90 degrees flat again, to go down inside the primer pocket. And that bend right at the corner of the primer is a spot that is hardened by just the bend in the primer. When you bend metal, or you bend it on a 90, it creates more strength in it. That's why when toolboxes are made, they bend them. You know, that's how they get that 90-degree strength in the corners and stuff. But same thing happens when you round metal and you bend it and make it over a round circumference. It strengthens it. So where it's hitting right there on the corner is already a hardened spot of the primer. And it's already where the corner of the anvil, the actual piece of steel that's underneath the primer, that is flattened out when you seat the primer. against the primer cup, and basically it sandwiches the compound between a three-legged anvil and the actual primer cup, and it sandwiches that primer in there and that anvil in there, and basically right on the corner is where he got detonation. And the chances of that going off in the corner are less than a chances of it, obviously, if you get a center strike right on top of the anvil. But he was able to get it to do it twice in a row, so that's kind of worrisome. That if you look at the actual firing pin impact to the primer, it's a solid impact. It's not a light strike. It's getting full striker force there, if not 95% of it, because you can just see by the way it's engaging the primer cup that it's hitting it pretty darn hard.
Interesting. Jason said earlier, John Moses Browning fixed that problem.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so
Jason is a big 1911 guy, and I'm a big 1911 guy too. First handgun I ever owned. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've had every generation of M&P there is. Core, Performance Center, regular first generation, 2.0. I've never had any issues, and I'm going to wait till I buy that 10 millimeter in about another year or two, when Smith figures it out what they're doing.
Yeah.
So Echo, if you screen share me right now, I've got a spot pulled up from my video where they can take a look at.
Right.
Go ahead.
Where that primer strike is.
Wow.
That is an aggressive mark.
Yep. You can tell it's oblong too.
Yeah. Well, that's the striker pin is oblong. Yep. It's a rectangle point, just like Glock.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a really, really hard hit. You can just tell by how much of the primer is deformed.
Ain't kidding.
So I'd like to also say that with that pencil test, it was fairly accurate in going, oh, yeah, I think that would be hard enough to detonate a primer because.
Oh, yeah. We've been using the pencil eraser test for as long as I can remember. And, I've been around 50 years, and I know the guys in the that taught me about it. They were in their 50s when they taught me, and I was 20. And so that's gone back, probably 100 years. They've been using that eraser test with pencils, and it's a good test. It basically proved exactly what John had suspicion that it was going to do. It caused a detonation, and with that primer that we just saw, there's no doubt that is not hitting way too hard for where that is hitting the primer at. I mean, it should not be coming close to that much force far up on the primer.
And if you think about it, I mean, the delineation there between detonating that round and not detonating that round where that hit, I mean, you're splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah.
And if the barrel is tilted that much to be unlocked and cause a high primer strike like that, that's significant.
Well, yeah, basically the way the Browning action works is when the slide starts to when the round is fired, the round exits the barrel and it starts moving the slide back from the force of the cartridge coming back. And as soon as it does, it causes the barrel to drop down and completely unlock. Yep. But the slide is supposed to move a certain amount under force locked up before it lets that barrel drop down. And basically you would, and what basically is happening when a gun goes off and it's unlocked like that, it's turning that locking system into just a straight blowback, spring blowback system, which the actual slide is not heavy enough, and neither is the recoil spring heavy enough for that type of operation. So that's what usually causes the frame to crack or bend or break, and it eject the magazine, is because it becomes a blowback, spring blowback resistance gun from that point, because it's not locked when it's fired, and it causes it to just come apart. So like I was saying, that it doesn't happen. He was trying to get it to do that, and normal use of weapons, you would have it closed completely into battery, and you shouldn't do that. But does it have a risk of firing out of battery? I think yes, it does.
So something else that I want to bring up to you guys, because this was an intriguing comment that I received today, which I understand the points they were making, but at the same time, I don't think they hold water. First one that they made was the gun's supposed to be able to fire slightly out of lock and whatnot because slide bounce. My thing is slide bounce. None of us are that quick. I don't think Jerry Michalik is that quick. What the heck was that? That was a kid. I'm gonna have to see what the heck's going on. But none of us are quick enough to pull the trigger so quickly that you would cause an out of battery detonation during the slide cycling or even the slide bouncing, because when that slams back forward, there is going to be a little bit of back and forth there. Likewise, they mentioned it's made to fire if you get a little bit of debris or something in there, which is like, no, if you got enough debris in there that it's stopping the firearm from going into battery, you got a big problem at that point, because you could have an out of battery detonation, which can be catastrophic. So, but what are your guys' take on the slide bounce?
I think you're talking milliseconds. I think your normal person reaction time, they're not going to outrun the slide. Unless you're shooting subsonic ammunition with a suppressor, I find it very hard to believe that anybody is going to outrun a slide to where, you're in slide bounce is still in bounce and it would go off. You're talking a positive spring tension that's pushing forward on the slide constantly. So when it's under cycle and it comes back and it hits its stopping point, and then it stays there for a second, because when weight's thrown in one direction, it'll find its deadening point, and it'll stay there for just a second because the weight is transferring, and then it's coming back, and then it's going to come forward, lock, and probably bounce off the front once, one for a millisecond. And if you time the entire firing of the thing, you're probably talking maybe 10 milliseconds from the time the firing pin falls, the round goes off, the slide comes back and comes forward. I would say it'd probably be somewhere around in the milliseconds is how fast those things move. So I mean,
yeah. And the other thing I was just thinking of while you're talking there is even with slide bounce, the slide isn't bouncing back an eighth of an inch, 3/16 quarter. That would be a lot of slide travel from just regular operation. At that point, you probably need to change out your guide rod springs.
Yeah.
Tactical Fuzz said he knows a couple of people that's had a problem with that pistol.
Interesting. Yeah, I had one commenter. I had one commenter on my first video where I did the pencil test who said he actually had his blow out the magazine, the whole 9 yards. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure he said he sent it in. They supposedly fixed it, but he said he just couldn't trust the firearm after that. And he ended up getting rid of it.
I've always liked the Beretta system.
Yeah.
That long, open top like that, the way it is. I just always liked that. I mean,
It's great looking. Mm-hmm. And say, now here we are bringing up 1911s and Berettas. Jason Stewart's out there's like, man, they keep it up. I'm going to have to get a cold shower.
I've never, because I started out on that gun. Well, I hadn't started out, but I officially did. I bought that from my brother years ago. I don't even like the Smith now the way it is. That barrel has to, go down and the slide goes back, and it's a system I'm not that fond of. I like the 1911 style. I like the Beretta, the way it does it. My brother does too. He don't like my system, the way Smith makes it. But it is what it is. I've had no issues. But
yeah,
Smith's gonna be in a world of hurt when somebody sues him if it ever blows up.
Well, that's the thing. That's why Yankee had made his initial video was going by Yankee story. Was there was a customer from Sporting Systems that brought his M&P 2.0 back in, which if I remember correctly, that one was a 9mm, and said, "What the frick?" It just blew up, and at first they thought, the guy did something. Then they got to checking out everything, and they're like, "This was a issue with the gun." And again, I don't want people getting hung up on the fact that, Yankees' name's getting mentioned. I realize not everybody likes him. Please realize I'm a free thinker. Like I said, it could have been Echo or AR or anybody else making this report. I'd have been doing the same test. And, I would hope that anybody out there would be going, oh, I should probably check my firearm if anybody ever said, like Remington 700s. I had one a long time ago when I learned that they were having the issues where, you could just close the bolt or bump the bolt and the thing would fire, or you could flick off the safety and it would fire. I did some extensive checking on mine because I did not want any situation while, you should keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction at all times. I still didn't want any situation where that thing was going to go off without me meaning for it to go off.
Well, poor old Yankee Marshall. He gets beat up all the time, don't he?
Yeah. Let's say, could be worse.
Yeah. I watched him years ago. I don't watch him much anymore. I hadn't seen him in years, actually.
Yeah, let's say, there's a reason people say he's a gateway drug. He has his purpose. He brings a lot of people into the fold. And then it's almost like they kind of graduate and move on into different realms. Now, obviously, he has his hardcore base that stay there. But, excuse me, one moment.
Hey, we got JH586 with us. Jason Stewart. Good to see you guys. James Pollard is with us. Vanessa has joined us. Good to see you all. Tactical Fud. New York Outcast joined us. I think I'm about to lose my voice. Jeez. Need a cough drop. There's nowhere to be found right now.
You do need a cough drop. Who was going to sing Pretty Woman? I'm going to say, do you even have your sunglasses on there, Roy? Oh, he has his camera off. AR is over here looking like Roy Orbison in the pre-chat. Awesome.
Orbison.
Pretty woman, come by, pretty woman. Yeah.
I love it. I'm back.
Nice.
I had to charge my insulin pump.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah. My buddy's like, hey, I think you need to charge your pump. I think I heard it going off. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it was beeping. So I had to go take it off.
Oh, is that what I heard?
Yeah. It was letting me down. It was letting me know, hey, plug me in. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, basically it's like a PSA, public safety announcement, service announcement, whatever, you just to bring you awareness onto it. We're not saying you have a problem and freak out and run to the firearms store, but just something to think about and to consider, and to keep an eye out on.
Yep. Also, one of the videos that I had seen out there on this, because a couple people that made their own videos put links to their videos in my comments on my first video on this. And like one of the guys was like, "Oh, this is only happening because if you take the slide off and you look on the underside, there's this just tiny little nub on the bottom of the slide where it will kind of get hung up sometimes." But he's like, if you just pull the trigger, it pushes the slide forward. And now M&P 1.0s will do that. Echo and I were talking about that earlier. But we're not talking about just the slide hung up a little bit because of that little nub, and then you pulled the trigger and it shot forward and locked up. And what we're talking about here is the slide being forcibly stuck by third party, meaning piece of debris, whatever the case may be, where it cannot go into that lockup and still being able to fire.
Got a storm coming.
You guys do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got. Well, they've been hovering. It's raining here and thunder and lightning.
Are you gonna get that thing sent back to Smith Barbecue?
Yeah. I'm gonna give them a call, because when I made that, again, this phone call was. I called them. It was a week before, or like right before. It was the weekend before Easter. Excuse me. It was the Friday before Easter. So then you'd have Easter Sunday, and they said that they'd call me back, but it probably wouldn't be Friday because business days, all that. I was like, that's fine. And then I waited a week, never heard from them, so I called them back. And at that point, my call recorder wasn't working. And the lady, when I spoke to her, she said that the video in question was illegal. I was like, I don't care. I just want to know what you're, and she's like, don't fire these if they're out of battery. I was like, okay, cool. And then when I went to listen to my call recorder, it hadn't been working. I was like, crap. So when I release this video, you're going to hear that she is a little testy with me on the third phone call, which the third phone call is only because they never called me back in the first place, they didn't give me an answer on the first one. So I was like, hey, I just wanted to be clear. And I kind of played it off as, hey, so what would be the process for, sending this back, so I don't know if I'm going to include that in the video, the whole process for sending it back, all that fun jazz. But, yeah. 1 second. Sorry.
I'm wondering, is it even safe to send back by UPS anymore, the way they're acting?
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to send my AR barrel, I'm going to send it FedEx here in a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think as if they're going to say that publicly, why would I give them my money?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to vote with my wallet. I'm not going to use UPS if they are going to make a statement.
I think the UPS thing got blown out of proportion, because then if you go back and look more,
right.
Well, I shouldn't say blown out of proportion, but the initial reports were misleading, and then obviously we all know how it goes when people hear something, they want to jump on the bandwagon, try and get their name lumped in so they can hopefully get that viral video or something. They're already taking bits and pieces from something that was given bits and pieces because they were trying to sensationalize it however would be best for their channel.
Yeah.
And it was a week or two later, UPS came out, and I'm guessing after they were really catching some flack, and they're like, hey, this is why. And what it really boiled down to was the new definition for firearms and receivers. And they're just trying to, go with, granted, it's not law, it's just the ATF doing what they want. But, to them, it's legal stuff, and they got to cross their T's, dot their I's, that way they cover their ass at the end of the day. So I'm not saying like I'm here to defend UPS, but going on that, it makes a little bit more sense, because and then likewise, when you look into it, FedEx has similar policies, which I think, if I remember correctly, FedEx actually had similar policies before the firearms and receivers redefinition went into effect, as well as USPS and a couple other manufacturers, shipping companies out there that obviously are much smaller, which I found pretty intriguing as well. So, I'm not going to damn UPS, but I'm definitely keeping an eye on them.
Yeah.
Propaganda over the 80% lowers is what I heard it's about. Definition of firearm, like you're saying.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing now, because, here in a few days, if I wanted to send Echo 80% lower, I can't do it now, because it's considered a firearm. It would have to be sent to an FFL.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's got to get serialized, all that. It's a bunch of crap.
Didn't they officially state, though, they were going to destroy? Or was that rumor, too?
That I'm not sure of.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
That's the part that bugged me. Who chooses in that company?
In
what package, what company?
Yeah, in the part where they're like, hey, this is why we said these things, I don't recall them actually saying that they would destroy packages. So I don't know if they went back on that. They was like, oh, yeah, that was a bad thing to say. Or if it was just a matter of, the first couple people that dropped that story in the first place just embellished some things. I can't say 100%.
Jason agrees. He said, yes, they said take and destroy. That's what I read too, guys. So, through their whole system, that's what I thought. Talking about overreach. I mean, how are they going to decide? Some supervisor out there in the warehouse, oh, that may be an 80. Oh, trash it, crush it. Yeah,
I think a lot of these things get run through an X-ray machine anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ship. I'm not going to ship UPS anymore.
Honestly,
I know
the X-ray machine probably isn't even being run by a person. It's probably just a machine sitting there. It runs through, and if it gets something that's questionable, it kicks a little lever. That package shoots to the right or the left or something, and then the lever closes, and everything keeps going. And
because I know last year when I wanted to go to Cancun, Mexico with the X, we were able to find nonstop flights on FedEx and overnight service, basically for $69 a piece. And of course, I'm joking, but
good to see you, Rich. Rich White's joined us.
Hey, Rich, what's going on?
Jamie's going to watch the video on it. Be right back.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's in the description box. And
I was going to say, a 160-pound package for $69, that is a deal.
That is a deal. Yes, it is. That is a deal. I got the coupon. I was like, and they were like, hey, this hasn't been completely paid for. And then I'm like inside the box going, and knocking at the side of it, and there's like a coupon stuck on the side.
I agree,
my card number is this. Did the box just talk?
New York's covering. He's covering something here. Seems like your shots wouldn't be consistent if the barrel isn't 100% locked up. Plus, you could have slight pressure loss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it could blow the entire head off the case. It could blow the entire head off the case, because you got to know when like I was saying before, when that barrel is locked up, the slide where the firing pin comes out, that's your breech face. That's on a 90-degree square angle with your barrel face, and the piece of brass is sitting up against the slide breech face. So when the firing pin comes through and hits that primer, it ignites the powder, bullet goes out the barrel. This causes the slide to start forcing back, because of soon as the bullet exits the barrel, the brass shrinks a thousandth or so of an inch. And when it does, it's during that process that the slide starts to move rearward, and when it does, it extracts that brass and throws it out to the right, or if it's a pop top like revolver or semi-auto pistol like the little Beretta 25s or 32s, it pops the top up and throws the empty brass out through the top.
Rich White says Jerry Nadler said an assault weapon fires 4,000 feet per second faster than any handgun round. Whoa, boy, what a bunch of retards up there in Washington.
Yes, yes.
I just like to have a firearm that fires 4,000 feet per second. Holy cow.
And hopefully the barrel doesn't last like as long as your last inhalation of air.
I don't think a minigun fires 4,000 rounds a second.
No, it does. Hold on,
it's
very close. Very close.
Yeah,
very close. I think
it's a fast gun.
I think the Vulcan is capable. Vulcan cannon is capable of 3,600 RP, 3,600 rounds per minute.
Yeah, I've watched that boy shows on that minigun. Boy, that thing is bad as a bone.
Oh yeah. That would be a topic right there to talk about tonight, fellas. The minigun and the Vulcan cannon, the GE minigun, General Electric, and they make the minigun, and boy, they've got quite a few of them. They make them all the way from 223 Remington, 30 caliber, 308, and they make them in 20 millimeter. 25 millimeter, and I want to say 30 millimeter is what the A10 has on the front of it now, is a 30 millimeter Vulcan.
Vanessa says, what is the firing rate of a AR-10?
And in fully automatic?
That's what I would assume she means.
Right around 600 to 750 rounds per minute, slightly slower than the AR-15, just because it takes more time to eject a 30 caliber piece of brass than it does a 5.56 piece of brass.
That's a good one, that's a good one, James Pollard. If a 9mm blows your lungs out, an assault rifle would blow your whole body away. That's a big bullet, man. Really big too. It probably just knock you over.
It just evaporates the body. There's no way to know.
It's the deadliest round ever made in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, not trying bunch of retards.
Segue back to anything, but something I just thought of. If you do believe your firearm, and this is for anything, if you think your firearm's having out-of-battery detonations, try and save your brass.
Yes.
And then when you send that firearm in for work, that is going to help out the armorer who's taking care of that immensely.
Got you, Vanessa.
Anything that, especially if you're shooting video at the range, anything like that, anything that you can provide them with to help show what's happening with your firearm is going to be a big deal, but probably the most likely all of us will be able to have is just that brass.
Yeah.
She was talking about the A-10 aircraft, Warthog.
Yeah.
4,000.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said the Warthog could go over a football field and do a 2-second burst.
Wow.
Or maybe it was a 3-second burst, 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and the entire football field and stadium would be completely covered with bullets. Every square foot of the ground would have a bullet hole in it. And I was like, oh my God, if they're coming in at like 600 miles an hour and they just do a 3-second rip, it covers like an entire football field. And the stadium and everything, the stands, the bleachers, everything, just that's firepower.
Yeah.
Okay, the minigun, also known as the M-134, fires over 4,000 rounds a minute.
Yeah, there you go. That is ridiculous.
Phew. I've seen it on TV, man. It's deadly, boy.
When those things go off, it sounds, you can't hear the individual shots. It's just a brrr.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
What I think is cool is the C-130s gunships. My dad said in Vietnam, they had C-130 gunships, and they still do to this day, that has a 105 howitzer sticking out the side, some type of big 25 millimeter Bushmaster, fully automatic, and a minigun. And they can literally roll up on one side and just like spray an entire mountain in Afghanistan or wherever they're at, and just light it all up and freaking do a bunch of damage.
I've seen it on TV years ago in a field where they had old vehicles. It just wiped them out, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, just shredded them. So, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it, Vanessa? There with a fishing pole, fishing. Bullets start flying in the lake and fish start coming up to the surface.
You just hook them and start. Yeah. I don't know if that would be very safe.
Jason says that would be 66 rounds per second.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That is a lot of ammunition, gentlemen and ladies. That is a lot. And you know what? Only the government can afford that, because no private citizen would be like, oh, yeah. Oh, you only get half a second. You need
a million RL 1100s.
Yeah.
Just load it.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Could you imagine loading ammunition for that thing? How many rounds does that thing shoot? 4,000 a minute? Be like, you just like, forget about it. I'm not reloading.
Can you all hear the thunder on my end?
Oh, is that what that was? I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, it's breaking my noise gate.
I was getting ready to holler at the kids.
Let me crank it up.
What the heck are you all doing?
I thought that was your stomach growling.
Nah.
It's getting past my noise gate, and it means it's pretty loud.
Yeah,
okay,
that's pretty impressive.
Okay, quit now.
It just quit. Now you can't hear nothing. Now you could hear a fart in the wind. You could be like, what? What was that? Oh, that was nothing. But seriously, though, miniguns are bad. If you've ever seen one of those guns fire, it's incredible. We used to go out into the Ocala National Forest, and they had a bombing range out there for the Army and the Air Force. And anybody in Florida knows the Ocala National Forest, their big gun range that they have out there, bombing range. And they go out there and they shoot those Vulcans or those miniguns. And we'll sneak out there and in the middle of the day, like real early in the morning, and try to find brass to those miniguns, and you can sometimes find quite a bit of it. Pretty neat stuff.
How loud is that thunder when you're hearing it?
It was just a little bum.
You can just politely hear it in the background?
Yeah.
Boy, it's coming down. It's loud here.
Well, you just be careful there. They might. You hear him, but you hear the whole back of the house getting blown off. He's like, I'm holding on for dear life. And I'm like, hold on.
Good to see you, Red Dog. Thanks for dropping by.
Hey, Red Dog. And old Miss Vanessa in New York. Rob, if you can, drop a link for your display pieces for the AR-15, AK-47, and the pistols. You guys, New York Outcast hand makes wooden display pieces for rifles and pistols and stuff like that. Check out his displays, and he's going to drop a link, I believe, here.
Those can be found over at rnldisplays.com. Do you
RNL?
have firearms? Yes, sir. Do you have firearms in your safe that are lonely, just sitting there collecting dust? Do they get laughed at by the other firearms? Make them feel special, folks. Go over to rnldisplays.com and get a display for your firearm. You can put it on top of your safe. Put it on top of your computer desk. They even comes with a wall mount, so you can display it behind you proudly, like Echo has here. Except he's got reloading press. You could have an amazing display for your AR-15 or your AK-47 or even your pistol caliber carbine that takes Glock mags. So head on over to R&L Displays today. I was doing so freaking well, wasn't I?
Dude, I thought it was pre-recorded.
Yeah,
it was so good.
rnldisplays.com.
Absolutely amazing. I'm gonna. That's okay. If you don't mind, I'm gonna have you do me up a commercial for over on barbecue, on Guns and Barbecue, your show. I'm gonna have you do me a commercial.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to do all kinds of stuff like that anyway. So yeah, I got you.
Just for my channel. Just be like, and everybody will be so jealous. They'll be like, "What's this thing with Echo's channel being advertised?" I'll be like, I got an ad. I got an ad campaign, ad agency. You don't know about Guns and Barbecue ad core?
That's right.
G-Webs is out there too. Hey brother, what's going on?
Yep.
Yeah, I think G-Web's been here for the whole thing.
We've had some bad thunder the past week here in Georgia.
You better watch out on that thunder. You better watch out on that thunder. It's coming for you. It's coming for you, brother. It's coming for you. All right. So we talked about 10 millimeter and we've talked about out of battery discharges. And we have hit and missed on the entire subject just about. And if you think you may have a problem, contact Smith & Wesson and let them know what's going on. And just like John said, Barbecue said, if you could save them some brass from you firing it and having an what you believe to be an out of battery discharge, then you go ahead and send that brass with it to them, so that, or if you have a video or anything like that, that helps out that tech or that gunsmith, whoever's looking at it, and get down to what's going on.
Good to see you, Rollis.
One of the things that they're going to have you do is, if you can, write up something that's going on with it. So when that tech gets it, it's not just whatever the person that you talk to on the phone and you're like, yeah, I need to send this back for warranty. And they're like, okay, what's going on? And, whatever they decide to paraphrase. I believe her name was Lena that I spoke with at Smith & Wesson. She even said, part of that process is, write down what the heck's going on and all that way our techs can have a better idea. But, like the idea of sending the brass, that's my brainchild, but that's just from years of other jobs where knowing that any little bit helps. So
most definitely, the more information you can give them and clues, the easier it is for them to get down to what's causing the problem.
It's like a motorcycle accident. You don't go to the hospital and be like, my head hurts. Why? I had a motorcycle accident. Well, where's the helmet? Didn't bring it with me. Well, that helmet's going to tell them right where you smacked your head off the asphalt. It's a great piece of forensic material for them.
Good to have Rollis Carvelis join us. Sorry, I overlooked you. I didn't overlook you, Rollis. The other day I called your name out, and I remember when the stream ended, told Echo, I said, God, I skipped over him accidentally. I hate doing that. Somebody put his link in the side chat to his channel, guys, if you would. Good to see you, Rollis. Sometimes we just scroll so fast. Sometimes you just skip somebody occasionally.
So John, you were saying, get everything you can to the tech so that they can verify what's going on. Give them as much information as you possibly can. That way you don't get onced over. And what I mean onced over means they take the gun, they test fire 5 rounds to it, and they say, oh, it did what it was supposed to, and they just put it back in the box and send it back to you. If they've got some stuff to look at to say, hey, look, this gun is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, they'll take more time to be like, okay, we're going to figure out why it's doing this and how can we prevent it from doing this in the future? What do we have to replace or make better?
I bet you they'll look at it, measure it or something, and trash it and throw him a new one in there.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes the repairs are far worth just giving them a brand new pistol.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm curious to find out what they're going to do on that one. Make sure you take a picture of the serial number so you know if they swapped it out.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, G-Webs.
Which normally they typically tell you, hey, yeah, this was a lost cause. We just replaced it for you. Have a good day.
What did G-Webs give us a what do they call those? A super chat?
No, he put the link to Rollis's channel out for us.
I'm gonna have them give me nickel super chats.
We'll take 100.
No. I'm gonna have them give me nickel super chats, and they're gonna be like, "What is a nickel?" And I'm gonna be like, 5 cents. I'm like, I just want a 5 cent, and you see all these people giving me super chats, and I'm just like, damn, you're just making a lot. No, those are 5 cents.
Let's say,
and then you find out that they're 5 pesos. They're not even five American cents. They're 5 pesos.
What's going on, Broke Loader 2? How you doing?
So last month, my mother was kind enough to take me to the laundromat. And afterwards, it's like, hey, I need to go and pick up some chicken feed. She's like, okay, cool. So while I'm at family farm at home, she ended up finding something, and it was only a couple bucks. So she's pulling out quarters, paying with leftover laundromat money. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, paying? I was like, with your laundromat money? She's like, yeah. I was like, but I wanted that. She's like, why? I was like, because I need those quarters. She's like, for what? I was like, for when I go to the strip club. She's like, what are you going to do with quarters at the strip club? I was like, I'm going to make it hail. Yeah, the girl behind the register, she got a good laugh about it, too. I was like, I like you. My mother just rolled her eyes at me. Like, you're ridiculous. I was like,
I'm going to make it hail.
What job are you starting, Broke Loader? Starting his new job this week, he says.
Let's hope it's not in the strip club because those quarters hurt.
Broke Loader starting a new job fixing loaders.
Fixing loader. Oh, no kidding.
Oh, I was being smart.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
I cranked that noise gate up a little bit higher.
If anything, he's probably fixing unloaders.
Unloaders.
Andy79Z28, jump back in. Good to see you, Andy.
Oh, good to see you, Andy.
Thundering here in Georgia
tonight. Got a good crew in here tonight.
Yeah, indeed. I hate to do it, Echo, but I've got to get back to the kids. I'm surprised that they've been this well behaved for an hour.
Okay. Well, John, thanks for coming in, brother, and hanging out and letting us know what's going on in your neck of the woods with your M&P 2.0 10 millimeter.
Yeah, no, pleasure being on. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You have a nice evening, and
you as well.
Give the kids a hug.
Elliot, you have a good one, sir.
You too. Mr. Great having you on, man.
As well. Thank you.
See, Andy says, been in and out, upload a new video.
Oh, good.
Cool. Yeah, I got that noise gate clamped up higher than I've ever had it.
We're gonna have to go to Andy's house and help him run his Camaro a couple times.
I could. You know what? You probably would not hear it. Enough of that.
Oh Jesus, you and electronics. He's turning up his noise gate. Watch out! And pretty soon, you see your mouth moving, but you don't hear anything because you've turned it up so loud.
He says, no, same job, mechanic job, but not in a place that has got bought out by a dumpster fire. Okay.
Horrible. Sorry to hear that, brother.
And he posted his link to his video. I guess that's the one he just loaded. Processed. Go check that out, guys. Hey, Mac Man jumps in here. Good to see you, Mac. He's been busy lately. I texted him other day, and he was it Monday, Mac? Did you get that other truck on the road?
Yeah, Mac, if you want to come in here, brother, we will send you a link if you want to tell us what's going on. Everybody's curious on what's been going on with you, and what's been going on with the new truck and the new driver and what's going on with you as far as how everything's shaping up and if you got everything going. Man, it's starting to hail here, AR.
Hell, really?
Hail.
Wow.
Yeah, it's starting to hail. I just got an alert on my security system. Tornado watch.
I know it's been coming a few years ago. Me and my lab that passed away, we were out here in the garage, and it did the same way it's doing now. And lightning hit a telephone pole right there in the street. I jumped a little bit. My dog moved just a little bit. He didn't mind it, and it blew out my TV in the living room, 4K TV. It did not blow out anything on surge protectors in this house, but it blew that one out. I did not have one on it, unfortunately. First time I've ever did that. I hooked it up and forgot about it, actually. And now I don't have I usually have another surge here on my workbench, and my roommate's got it right now. So I'm not hooking up my other monitor now, guys. So I do everything. I use surge protectors. I'd like to get one of those battery systems, UPS, something like that. Yeah, Universal Power Supply.
Yeah. So what's going on? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a gun review on my Mossberg 930 breacher shotgun, and then I'm going to that'll be the first gun I shoot when we get to Tennessee. We'll shoot that 930 out there, and then we'll do a review of its shot pattern and buckshot at 25 yards, and then I'll back it up to 30 yards, and I'll bring it in to 21 feet, 7 yards.
Taco and French Fries has joined us.
Oh, hey, Taco.
And
what's going on, brother?
You got a link, Mac, man. It's on its way.
Cool. See what's going on with Mac. So basically, so what have you been up to, AR? I know you had a flood from your thing. Did you get everything all squared away from that?
I've still not finished. I still got some things I got to bring in here. I've just been doing some networking lately and having a difficult time getting some parts for that Corvette. So
here's Mac.
Hey, let me put him in there.
Yeah.
There you go. What's up?
How you doing, guys?
Hey,
Good,
brother,
man.
nice to see you. And everything's going good. I missed talking with you. How you been?
For a long time.
It's been so busy, guys. I'm really sorry I've been on, but it's just a lot of work going on at the moment.
You got your other truck on the road yet, Mac?
Yeah, it's all ready. I picked one up from California a few weeks ago, and I had to do quite a bit of work on it, the inside, to tidy it up. So I've done all that. My driver's been to school for 2 weeks, so he's ready to go. We're just waiting for the inventory to turn up, probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Get it all checked in and loaded up, and he'll probably be on the road on a week Monday.
Awesome.
Cool.
Glad to hear it, brother. Awesome. That's good news for you. And once you get that inventory in and he gets on the road, then you can start taking advantage of a second route.
Heck, everybody needs a second job these days with the inflation. 11 point something percent, probably actually 22%.
Yeah, 22% inflation. That's where it's at.
Yeah, it's been a big investment and a lot of work, but hopefully it'll pay off.
Oh, it will. That's money in the bank right there, Mac. Just yeah, that's money in the bank. You just gotta sit on it a little bit and work it, and you know how you do it. You've been doing it for years with your truck, and you get your other guy going and help him out and give him some experience tips, and take full benefit of making that second income, especially in the reloading room, you know.
Yeah, I haven't been in there for a few weeks. It's I'm getting withdrawal symptoms.
I bet.
So, but we'll soon get back to it.
I went the other day. I was about a week ago. You know, I have a lot of stuff on my plate, and I started looking at RL 1100 again. I go, no, I can't do it. It's gonna be a while. Still be a while. So,
listen to
I could.
If you didn't have that Corvette to put back together, You
Yeah.
could do it, but you
Good.
need to put that ride back together.
I could
get
pay
your
cash
stuff.
for it, man, today if I didn't have the Corvette.
I could pay cash for it today.
Well,
What you need
bank
to
card.
do is buy another truck and buy a truck and get and help Mac run a third truck.
I do need a job in my old retirement. That's for sure. Old age retirement. I meant to say.
You could sell Mac tools, dude. They sell themselves. You just got to have a good personality and put up with people.
Only had
Oh,
2 slight accidents in my entire life. I'm a good driver, even though I do 100 miles an hour and burn tires and go sideways and everything.
Oh my God!
I'm still a good driver.
We want to hear. That's not what we want to hear. No burning tires, no sideways. Slow and low is the tempo.
Let's see. Hal 9000 joined us. Good to see you. Appreciate you dropping in.
Awesome. Everybody stopping by tonight.
He says American Gun Chick had her M&P blow up on a video. Oh, okay. And I just mentioned that earlier in the stream. Unbelievable.
And she had that. I remember when she bought that. She bought that right here because what's her name?
American Gun Chick.
Yeah, American Gun Chick. She's here in Florida, and she had that Smith and Wesson. I don't know if she bought it there, but she bought the trigger, the Apex trigger, and had them put it in it at what is it called? Shooter's World in Tampa. And she went down there and had that upgrade put in there. And I wonder if that was the pistol that blew up on her.
Hal says it won't let me post a link to it. What gun was it, Hal? The 10 millimeter M&P 2.0?
Throw Hal. Just hold on, Hal. It'll let you post it here in just a second, brother. Give me just a second to turn your into a moderator. Okay, let me see.
Oh, you're on the road late tonight, aren't you, Mac?
No, it's 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay, that's right. You're behind.
So, yeah, I've just finished. So just driving home now. It's been hot today. It's been 115 degrees today.
Oh Lord, 115.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's too much.
Is that a dry heat?
We're on about 50% humidity.
Oh, that's pretty humid for Arizona.
Yeah, we're in the middle of our monsoon season.
Oh, okay. So you guys are getting rain every day.
Most nights we get thunder and rain, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was like 50% humidity. That sounds almost like Florida.
Good to see you, DJ.
Yeah, it's nasty. Pretty tough to work in.
Yeah. Hal, you can go ahead and drop your link, brother, to that video. Anything you need to do, brother. And
so how are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, brother. How you doing, AR?
So. I'm getting over the hot water heater blowing up, and I'm having issues with the vet, but I'm doing all right though.
That's good.
My whole family does have COVID now. My great granddaughter, the one that was just born 8 months ago, she's got COVID. My daughter caught it, and my great granddaughter's got it too right now.
Oh my
So
goodness! I hope everybody does all right. They say the younger you are, the better off you are having it. For some reason, that's what they found out, that the babies aren't affected nearly as much as an adult.
The way it's going, my daughter's going to have COVID like 5 or 10 times.
That's not good on you to go through that many cycles of having. That's like having the flu 10 times in a year. That ain't going to do you too good. What I was going to tell everybody was the HAL 9000. If you guys check out HAL 9000, that is from a movie back in the 80s. The HAL 9000 voice communicator was the computer on board. What was that? 2000? What movie was that?
Death Race 2000?
No, not Death Race 2000. This is an old movie. This is back from the 80s. HAL 9000. Let us know what that movie is, brother. The one where your name is. I am the HAL 9000 voice communicator, and it would be like Dave, and it was talking to Dave, and it was a computer on board the spacecraft, and they were out in outer space around the world, going around the Earth. And it was talking to him, and it was going nuts. The computer was. It was an excellent movie. If anybody gets a chance to see that movie, he's going to put the name of it up. What did he put it up yet? Let me see. 2001 Space Odyssey. Thank you. Yeah. And 2010, the day we make contact. Yes. There was 2 movies, 2001 Space Odyssey. Now, these came out years ago. Maybe 35 years ago. The first one, maybe 30 years ago. But my dad turned me on to that movie because my father was a science fiction guy. And my dad went to college and he took speed reading courses. And he could read a 1,400 page paperback science fiction book in an hour. And literally, he could turn the pages as fast as he could turn them. And he was reading and comprehending the entire book. And I thought it was amazing. He used to read 2 or 3 books a night when he was at the fire station working. And I always thought he used to keep his science fiction books in plastic trash cans in the garage because he would read them so many times and reread them. And old Western Louis L'Amour books. He loved Louis L'Amour.
She had a M&P compact 2.0 compact go off, not the 10. Smith better get their act together.
Yeah. Yeah, they obviously have a problem.
But they will. Correct.
Yeah, they always. Smith and Wesson is a good company. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's just put it down. It's a good company.
Oh yeah.
And
well, we live in the day and age where we put these polymer pistols through the production line just rapid. Too. They're not like the old days where everything was checked, every little thing on it. So I kind of can see why it would happen occasionally.
Yeah, and you'll notice 10 thousandths of an inch plus or minus on some of Glock's pistols from where their holes are drilled for the fire control group. They have, but see, the thing is, the holes, the pinholes, they are spaced off of each other. They can be on the frame a little bit off, but they have to be relevant to the other holes in the same spot so that the striker will disengage and engage correctly. So as long as all the holes are the same space apart, they can be a little bit moved on the frame. So the plus and minus and tolerances on the polymer pistols is a lot more lenient than on the aluminum frames and steel framed guns.
Yeah, we'll watch that, Hal, that video. Good to see you, Drew. Drew Bradley's joined us.
Awesome. Welcome all.
I subbed her a while ago. I used to watch her occasionally. It's been a long time.
Yeah. She's a nice young lady. She, I know she was up north in Jacksonville, Florida, because I'm right here, Hal, in, St. Petersburg, Florida. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Oh, we got somebody chiming in. Let me see what's going on here.
Yeah, I looked at it, Hal. Listened to her mention a gun anyway for a second there. Good to see you, Drew. Got storms here in Georgia. Loud thunder.
Oh, DJ.
What do you mean, DJ?
Please come back on the show.
DJ Play Nice says 2010 was 1984.
Yeah. Where's DJ Play Nice? Is he right there? Okay.
He's in side chat.
Yeah, something happened. I don't know what happened, but DJ's moderator status got erased, and I don't know why, because I didn't change it unless I've got fat fingers, DJ. So there's a possibility that I did it and didn't realize I did it.
Jamie says he watched Barbecue's video. Sorry, Echo.
Oh yeah, go ahead, brother. I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, I talked over you. Sorry.
I believe DJ, your
Just received from DJ Play Nice.
Weird. Hey guys, that's really a doll leaning up against the wall. Talking. A robot. God help us if we start making robots by the millions.
Yeah, no doubt, right? But anyways, yeah, DJ, you should have your moderator status reinstated. I don't know. Maybe my fat fingers hit something because, I'm blind, DJ. Thanks for letting me know, though. If something like that happens to anybody, please let me know in the side chat. It's not done on purpose.
Yeah, it does happen.
It does happen because I go to make somebody else a moderator, and I accidentally hit the wrong button and hit another wrong button because I'm blind as a bat. And sometimes it does happen. I apologize.
Well, I got good vision. I knocked out Vanessa a few weeks ago somehow. Had to give her back the status. Go back and watch an old video.
So Mac Man, it's great to have you on the show. What are you doing? With that 8-inch Anaconda in 45 long Colt. Is that the one in 45 long Colt, or is that a 44 Magnum?
That's the new 44 Magnum I bought.
Okay, but you have one in 45 long Colt, don't you?
Yeah, I got an old one. I think it's a 1977 or 78 original in long coat.
Wow.
Ah, nice.
I read a little bit of article the other day on that Anaconda 44 mag. Forget where I read it at, somewhere online.
That is a beast. I used to have a 45 long Colt Anaconda with 6-inch barrel stainless steel back in 1994. I had that gun. And I remember it because my ex at the time had a 94 SVT Cobra Mustang. And I loved that car. I loved that car more than I loved her. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest. That car was nice, and it was smoking hot. So was she, though. So was she.
The 94 Cobra?
Yeah, the 94
That's the one
Cobra.
my ex-girlfriend in 1995 took my 6-year-old vet and ran that one night. I found out about it about a week later. I said, you don't be out there racing cars. My sports car.
You start pulling up to the Steak and Shake AR, and people are like, man, that car hauls ass. And you're like, what are you talking about, man? And he's like, and you're like, what do you mean my car hauls ass? He's like, yeah, we saw you running that car the other night against that Cobra.
She slipped up and says that my car burned a lot of rubber and smoke. And I says, oh, God, thank you.
He goes out there. His tires are just about gone on the back. He's like, I
did replace them. I did replace them in less than a year.
Them Goodyear Gatorbacks aren't cheap, let me tell you.
Yeah, I still haven't shot that new Anaconda.
So
I've got about 5 or 6 guns now, all new ones that I still haven't taken out and shot. So I need to get out and make some videos.
Yeah, man, yeah. I can't wait. That 44 Magnum looks really cool with that long barrel. That's a mean looking gun. You got some nice snake guns.
Yeah, you kidding?
Yeah, they shoot so nice.
Hal said this happening. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Back in what was it? 2002. I had a custom King Cobra with 2 3/4 inch barrel, or no, 2 1/2 inch barrel. or 2.25. I'm sorry. It's a snub nose 357 Magnum Colt, King Cobra, high polish. The entire thing was mirrored, and it was stainless steel, and it got stolen out of my tow truck. A guy broke into my tow truck one night, stole that, and another Kimber semi-automatic 1911 out of my truck.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Hal says it blew up on one of her students. She was teaching in Texas in a class.
Oh, that is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, my father was a Colt guy, and I love Smith & Wesson. You know what I've mentioned this before. My father called every foreign gun that was not a Colt or a Smith & Wesson an owl head. That was generic, owl head. So any gun that come from anywhere, if it didn't have that label, he called it an owl head when I was a kid.
An owl head.
Owl head.
Because that stands for like a generic. That was a term used back in the 50s for a generic
definitely
brand.
Decades ago. I'm not sure what decade, but
well, yeah, because I remember the Owlhead cigarettes. Though, remember the ones that were white packaged, said cigarettes in white, and it had an owl head on it. On the little thing you tore to open it, the little thing in the middle had an owl head on it, and that was the only decoration on the pack of cigarettes. I think they were like 90 cents when the other ones were $3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that video when we get off of here.
Yeah,
he said something about the girl's face. She wasn't injured, was she, Hal? He hadn't said that, so I assume she was okay.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to those videos, Mac. I can't wait to see some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get out to make a good. Like I said, I bought those 222s I haven't shot yet. I got a 41 Mag snub nose I haven't shot. I got that Anaconda. I've got a 10 mil Smith & Wesson revolver I haven't shot yet. No, it's a Ruger revolver 10 mil. I haven't shot that yet. So I got a bunch to do a load of videos on.
I seen a remake, a redo of the Model 10 Smith revolver, brand new a few weeks ago.
Yes, I did see that as well. They're offering a Model 10 again, and I'm almost tempted to bite the bullet and buy one, and I probably will just to have one. And I want to get a Python too, where I'm moving to. I'm gonna definitely, probably, most likely get a Python in probably a year.
I want either a single action army or a Ruger Blackhawk 44.
I want a Bisley. I'm going to get a Bisley too. A stainless steel Bisley and 45 long Colt. You got to have one of those. And since Texas is constitutional carry, I can get one of those leather belts, like the gunslingers and all, and get me a hat with some shark skin boots.
Mark Thomas makes holsters and stuff.
Yeah, get him to make me a custom holster for it, and I'll wear that up to the store to get me a diet soda. I'll be like, let me get a diet soda. They're gonna be like, are you serious? Are you serious? Diet soda.
733, guys.
Oh yeah, AR. Why don't you go ahead and read off the crowd in the side chat, and we really appreciate you coming on your way home, brother. I really appreciate it. We were worried about you. We hadn't heard from you in a while, and Mac, and we were awfully anxious to see what's going on and to know you're getting that new truck out there. That's awesome.
I texted him the other day because I was wondering what was going on. I figured it was a new truck. You've been busy.
Yeah, we've been talking back and forth to a few people. It's just I've been jumping onto some of the streams and just making comments and saying hi, but it's just I've been working till 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. I've been doing 16, 17-hour days, and it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. We're almost done. We're almost done.
Well,
thanks for...
Yeah, it's going to pay off for you, brother. Trust me. Those tool trucks, They actually do pay for themselves rather quickly, and with as much work as you're putting in, I'm sure it looks fabulous too. So I can't wait to see some video of the both trucks. You
Yeah.
showing both trucks off.
How
Yeah, I'll do a
cool.
video. I'll do a video of that, and I'll do the video of the insides again and everything, so people can see what they look like.
Cool.
Looking forward to it. Hal said it cut her face up kind of bloody. Powder burns on her hand. Blew out the magazine and the right side of the frame. Wow. Oh, boy. Good to see you guys. Appreciate you dropping by, Mac. Good to see you. And enjoy the stream tonight with you guys. Let me get up here to the top. Call you guys out. Windows 10 has did an update. 2 of them, actually, this past week. And my computer has been acting crazy ever since. G-Webs has joined us. Echo over here in the box, his show. Andy79Z28, Guns and Barbecue, he was a guest. Alaska 1 Andy, Hobbies Hobo, D-Dub, D37, 67 Rebel, SST AMC, good to see you. Jason Stewart, Vanessa Kitty. Low Ballin' Outdoors jumped in there. Good to see you, Low Ballin'. He's out there fishing. Jason Stewart, Vanessa Kitty, Tactical Fudd. Andre D'Angelo, good to see you. Quest for the Perfect Low jumped in. MSB 9021, good to see you, my friend. Vanessa, how you doing? Hope you're doing good, Vanessa. Tactical Fudd, Jason. G-Webs was with us earlier. Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog jumped in there. How's it going, Bulldog, if you're still listening? Hope you're doing good. Jason Stewart. Who else here? Tactical Fudd. I called JH586 jumped in. Hadn't seen him jumping in. He wasn't here last Friday. Good to see you, Jamie. New York Outcast joined us. Who else here? James Pollard joined us. Good to see you, James. Jason Stewart, I called. Vanessa Kitty. Just about finished, guys. Rich White jumped in there. Good to see you, Rich. Red Dog joined us. Appreciate it. Coming by, Red Dog. Vanessa Rollis Carvelis joined us. Good to see you, Rollis. Who else here? G-Webs joined us. Broke Loader 2. Who else? DJ Play Nice. Good to see you. And then, of course, Mac over here. Tacos and French fries. Hal 9000 joined us. Thanks for dropping by, Hal. Andy79Z28. I call that. Drew Bradley jumped in there. Good to see you, Drew. Okay. Bernie Sanchez joined us. Good to see you, BS. That's it.
All right. Thanks, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out tonight. I'm glad that you could make the show, and I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be covering various things until I get moved to Tennessee, and then we're going to start doing hardcore reloading and shooting because I'll be able to shoot right outside my house.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll be able, and I'm going to have a party sometime this following year once I get all set up and invite a bunch of YouTubers down if they can make it and come out and do some shooting. I'm going to try to set up a range for getting out to 900 yards.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So just tune in and keep watching, and we'll keep on putting the stuff out. Mac, thank you very much for coming by, and looking forward to those videos on those new pistols and those 22s and the trucks.
No problem. Thanks. Yeah, I got a lot coming up. So thanks for letting me jump on, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to come on, say hi to everybody. I know I haven't been on for a few weeks, but I want to let everybody know why. And it's just, we're almost there. We're about a week away before he's on the road, and then I should hopefully have some free time back again.
Sounds good.
Awesome, brother. Awesome.
Can't wait to get you back on. We miss you.
And thanks.
I miss coming on. It's been a.
Go ahead, Mac. I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir.
No, I said I miss being on all the live streams. I really enjoy it and speaking to everybody and helping people out. It's been great, and because I haven't done it for a while, and I'm getting withdrawal symptoms, so I had to jump on tonight.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Anytime you want to come on me or AR's channel, you always have an invite. You don't even have to ask, except for just get a link. and we'll send it to you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good one, guys. It was good seeing you all. Do you want to wind it off or me? Or
I'm going to go ahead and end her.
Okay.
You all have a nice evening, and thanks for coming out tonight. And make sure to tune in to JH 586 and the Georgia Shooting Connection next at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Thank you, and have a great one. Bye-bye, y'all.